My name is Rossborough, and in this video we're going to look at some reasons why your band is going nowhere. This video is going to be aimed at newer bands and also some bands who might have just been out of the loop for a while and they're starting up again. I'll also be doing this for songwriters a little bit further down the road. So if that sounds like something that's applicable to you, like and subscribe and you'll be ready for the next one. Music industry is a fickle industry and it can be hard to make any sort of headway. Let's look at some points that you could improve on to make sure that your band is doing as well as it possibly can. The first point is material. Do you have enough material? You might be planning to start playing your first gigs and you're thinking about doing half-hour support slots. So you're thinking, okay, maybe I need about 6 or 7 songs. That's not right. What you really should be doing is looking at the set time that you want to play and times that by maybe 2 or maybe 3 times as much material. This means that you can go through and be as honest with yourself as possible and pick the absolute best ones. I would love to sit through a band set if it's a half hour of complete and utter bangers, rather than having a few fillers in here, a kind of loose jams and things that just aren't well thought out. When you come to writing material, you should be really trying to write as much as possible and completing songs as much as possible. It doesn't matter if halfway through you work out, you're like, oh, this isn't working. Complete the song because you will know what not to do next time. I have so many songs where I've tried out specific ideas and I've left them halfway and I've kind of like, well, maybe I didn't give that idea attention enough. If I follow through with that idea, I know if it's applicable to me as an artist, or I know that it was just some random thing that I just wanted to experiment with and it doesn't really lend itself to my kind of overall sound. There is a concept in artistic output called the 80-20 rule, and that is 20% of what you make is going to be absolutely brilliant, but 80% isn't going to be very good. You have to allow yourself as an artist time to fail, time to experiment, and time to search, and that's what that 80% is all about. So when you're writing loads and loads of material and you're putting like pen to paper like a couple of times a week, banging out those songs, you're really going to be far closer to discovering a banger rather than just waiting for some magical inspiration to arrive. The inspiration comes from hard work and the inspiration comes from your brain. So you need to be engaged, you need to be sitting down, and you need to be ready to write that material. Second point I'm going to make is the difference between rehearsal and practice. This has been a huge thing throughout my career, playing in many different bands and of course as a solo act as well. Practice is something you do at home on your own. If a band I'm in comes up with a new track, if the songwriter sends it through on email, then I can sit at home and I can learn how that goes. You shouldn't be spending your band practice time, which I would call rehearsal time, learning stuff. It's kind of annoying for the other people who have already done the work at home and have learned how to play it. Really what you should be doing when you're in your band rehearsal is making sure that you're all playing in time, making sure that you're all synced in nicely, and kind of practicing your live stage show. You shouldn't really be learning material in that room. That's stuff that you should do at home, and this means that your whole band rehearsal will get really slick and your actual stage show as well will look far more professional. Now that kind of leads into another point, and that's point 3. Not having any recording experience. It's 2023. You're watching this on a device that can record music. Recording software is so accessible now. When you're writing songs, you should be recording them, and that means that anybody else in your band can practice that song at home, and that's going to make your rehearsals really slick. Really what else it's going to do is it's going to give you an honest representation about how you sound. When we're playing like a song on acoustic and we imagine it being electric, we imagine it kind of through the lens of our favorite bands, and you know, we kind of gloss over some of those nasty edges that we might have. That gives us an unrealistic kind of expectation about what we're like live. Also, those little ridges and sharp bits that we have as artists are actually what make us sound like ourselves, and you should be looking for those little identifiers of who you are and leaning into them. Nobody wants to hear like the next Kings of Leon. I am not interested in the next Black Sabbath. I want to hear something that's new, and I want to hear something that comes directly from that person. I don't want them to be making a version of something because they think I will like it. And getting through to that kind of honesty that you get from your creativity really comes from recording, because you can't hide behind anything and you can't make stuff up. It sounds the way it sounds, and you sound the way you sound. That brings me to point 4, and that's emulation. We're all convinced by like the music industry that everything's supposed to sound a certain way, and certain things are really cool and certain things are naff. That's bullshit. It used to be, right up until the early 2000s, that the music industry used to react to new artists. New artists defined the way music was going to go for the next 10 years. And now it seems with the music industry gaining more power again over social media, over marketing, that artists seem to react to the music industry now and try and change themselves and mold themselves into something that they think that record companies and such will like want to take on and want to propel forward because it's an easy product. Don't make yourself an easy product. You're an artist, you're there to create, and having that originality and something that's different and something that's just not out there is going to put your band forward and going to make you special to someone. So there's no point in trying to be the next anybody. Try and be yourself. Of course you're going to have influences, and all those influences that mix together make a new artist. Try not to think about an end product. Try not to think about what anybody else will think of you. You will find people who love your band. There are billions of people online now. There is so much music out there, and each band has a group of fans out there. It's just about finding them. Point number 5, and my last point about why your band might be going nowhere, is because you're treating it like an island and you see everyone as a competitor. Music is not a competition. I detest battles of the bands. The only thing a battle of bands is good for is meeting other people in your scene. Seeing other bands in your local scene as competitors is absolute bullshit. Just because I love one local band doesn't mean that I'll hate another local band. As a music listener, I want as much music that makes me feel some sort of feeling as much as possible. I'm not just going to pick one band and then they're the band for me. And as acts, we can kind of be tricked into that sort of competitive thing, especially with social media, and you got like likes numbers and streaming numbers and all that kind of crap. That really feeds into this nasty sort of thing about seeing everyone else as a threat to you. Your local scene and other local bands and people who are kind of creating music around you, those are your friends. And if you work together, you'll actually create a space that has more than enough space for everyone. No one wants to go into an environment that has this underlying aggression about it and this nastiness and this kind of venomous feel about it. And certain towns I've played in, you can tell when you walk into a venue that people just aren't nice to each other. I'm lucky where I live in a town where everyone is super supportive and everyone kind of works together. And when that feeling picks up, we always see an increase in people going to shows. It's not just bands playing the other bands, it's people who just love and have a passion for music, getting involved in the scene. So if you're struggling to get gigs, maybe you should think about going to gigs. If you feel like you're not being supported in your local area, what support have you done? Bands should be working together. You know, you can share gear, you can put on shows together. Music is about community and it's about sharing. The music business comes after. It's just a result. It's not the main point. So I hope that this video has been a little bit of help for you and your band. I hope it does inspire you to maybe make a few changes. If you've got any specific questions, drop them down in the comment. As I said, music is a community, so please get involved and let's help each other kind of lift everything up to the next level. As I said, I will be making another video more specific to singer-songwriters and solo acts, and also I'll be looking at one for people who may not want to play gigs and may just want to put music out on the internet, which is cool as well. So if that sounds applicable to you, like and subscribe. Remember, leave a comment and be cool to each other. Until the next video, ta-ta.